I'm demonstrating a process of eBay dropshipping product research. And what the process involves, first of all, will be searching eBay, finding products, of course. However, I'm also going to use an automation I made called the Google Lens Product Sourcer, and it will actually automate Google Lens searches on products that we find on eBay so that we can find lots of different possible profitable sources. And a Google Sheet that it connects to will actually calculate the profit and show us which products are profitable. And so this is a full process that you have to go through. And so it has its different parts, and the first part is to actually start with finding a particular category or a particular keyword that we want to actually try to source. So understanding that this is a process, I want you to be prepared for the fact that this will be a long video in demonstrating that full process, but you can always watch it in its parts. So first of all, I'm going to start off with the product research portion. Now, there's a difference between product research and sourcing. So product research means figuring out not always, but in this case, it's finding a particular keyword that I want to search, which in this case is fans, right? And I'm going to look at the past 12 months. This is trends.google.com. In the US, I'm expecting to sell to people in the US. And so I'll do a search for fans, United States, past 12 months. And I see that fans are very high right now. I see that that trend is upward. The thing with dropshipping is you are buying and selling the product at the same time. So unlike arbitrage sellers who may look actually to buy things when they're really low, right, or a wholesale seller perhaps, and sell them later when they're trending high for a higher price, you're buying and selling at the same time. So you need to really find things that are really trending very well right now. And we see fans are high, and it's actually been up in this upper quadrant for the past 12 months, but it's just shooting up even higher up to the top here at 97 at this point, right, for the past 12 months. So looks like fans are something that we can work with. So I'll go over to eBay now and I will search for fans. By the way, if you can't think off the top of your head, if you cannot think of something like fans, you can always use ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to give you a list of popular product keywords that are popular right now, things that are trending right now. And ChatGPT, which is free, OpenAI, will give you some keywords. So you can always do that. Now that I have fans, I'm going to show you what I would typically do manually. Doing this as a manual process. And basically, if I were to, well, first of all, I really should apply filters. If I'm drop shipping, I want to apply filters so that basically I want to find other drop shipping products. So first of all, drop shipping products are typically new products and they use a buy it now format. So I'm going to select those filters, condition new, buy it now. I'll do item location US only in my case. And dropshippers do typically charge free shipping, so I'll apply free shipping. It also makes it easier in profit calculation if I'm pulling the prices, but I'm not pulling the shipping on the listings. I'll know that the price that I see is the actual complete price of the listing if it has no shipping on it. So free shipping is a good idea as well. And with those 3 filters applied, I now have my list of fans here. Another thing is I might want things that have actually already sold. So it's a good idea to focus on products that actually sold. And you can do this in the advanced filters, by the way. I'll just click on advanced. And it's actually easier because you can kind of do it all right here. Sold items, buy it now, condition is new, free shipping, all that stuff is already selected. I already did it. US only. And the number of results you want to see on a page. I'll do a lot, like 240, and then click search. Okay, so here are all these products that have sold. These are fans that have sold that match my search criteria. Now, if I were doing this manually, I would simply open one of these. And I love that eBay opens it in a new tab. And basically, you know, I might want to do like a Google Lens search with Google Lens. And see that this product, see if I can find this product on another website, and you get all these different results. Now, this is fine, but you know, really the issue with this, doing this manually, is that of course I have to go through and open these up individually, and then I can examine the price. And this does work, and you can certainly do this. But if you want to do this for a large number of products, that's really where the issue comes in, right? Because I have to search for a lot of products and somehow try to collect the data for all these different products. So rather than doing this manually, going through doing a Google Lens search on every single product, all that physical navigation, right? It's really too much. And I mean, you can do it again, I mean, but today with, you know, it's only become more difficult to do product research, if anything, and to find products. So it's good to have some sort of automation, and that's what I'm going to use. So the first step is that this system I devised has two parts. One is the Google Sheet, and the Google Sheet is basically the input and output of the system, meaning you have to input products from the Google Sheet. You'll input a list of products. I'll show you how to get the product data in here. You feed it to this automation, which is a browser automation in the form of a Chrome extension that you'll add to your browser. I'll show you how. I have the video and all that. It's very easy to do. You'll download the file, add it to your browser. And when you run it, it's going to search all the products, and it will put the output of those products here in a result sheet, which then has formulas on it to calculate the profit. And you can actually change the market fee here if you need to or whatever. So it's not even eBay specific. I'm just using eBay in this video, right? I'm doing eBay dropshipping, but really you can just source any products you want. Now, the thing is I need to get this data off of the page. So looking at the product sheet of the Google Sheet, which is the input sheet, I don't need product ID, by the way. I'll explain what that is. That's a different thing. I need the product title. I need the URL of the product so I can navigate to it later. I need the price of the product so I can calculate profit. And I need the image so I can search the product. And the title is just, you know, so that it's just easier to know what the product is off the bat, just reading the title. So the first thing is to use a free Chrome extension. If you have some other way that you do, that you can do it, then you can do that. But I'm going to use Instant Data Scraper right now, which is a free Chrome extension. And it will basically work on like any website, and that's why it's a good idea for me to demonstrate Instant Data Scraper in this video in case you want to use this on another site. And as you can see, it puts that red box around the products, and sometimes it doesn't. You have to click try another table, but in this case it did. And what I will do then, I'll open this up so you can actually see that it's pulling whatever's on the page. So basically it's pulling the eBay items over here, the eBay item links, and it's pulling the image URLs, which is what the Google sourcer is going to use. Okay. It even has the dates that these things sold, so we know if they sold more recently, right? Okay, it has titles, and it has the prices that are listed on the listings. So what I'm going to do is download this to a CSV. And I will go back to the Google Lens product sourcer, and then I will go. So first of all, well, let me say a few things. So first of all, I want to make sure you saw that step. You're downloading what scraped off the page to a CSV by clicking CSV. And that's going to your downloads folder. And I never did scroll down so you could actually see that I did that. Okay, and I'm just pulling all those results off the page. And I'm going back to the Google Sheet, and then I'm going to go to this first sheet tab, which is Import CSV. Okay, I'm going to click on this box that's in between here and just delete what's already there. And now I'm going to import what I just downloaded from eBay in here. So file, import, and upload and browse. And eBay 12 is the last file that I downloaded here. I'll open that. And I'll select replace current sheet and import data. Now, that's one way to get the data from eBay. There are, like, I'm sure, scrapers out there, different ones that you can use. I myself have done scraping, eBay scraping in Google Sheets. I have a whole eBay scraper spreadsheet that actually scrapes eBay search results. Right? So there may be other options, okay? But right now for this template does not have that type of stuff built into it. So you've just, however you scrape, and then you bring the data into the sheet. Now, the next thing is to populate this, okay? Now for product ID, all right? Product ID is not like a ID, like a supplier ID. It's just a local ID so that I can say like product number 1, product number 2, product number 3, so on and so forth, right? So I can just kind of identify each of these. That's all it is. So you can just put 1, 2, 3. I'll show you what to do from there. All right. Now, for product title, for all of these, we're going to copy and paste. Okay. So what I'll do is highlight and just copy and paste the titles. These are clearly the titles. You can click, drag the mouse, or you can use Control-Shift down on a Windows system on the keyboard. Control-Shift down arrow is the same. Well, the Control-Shift down arrow will stop at the bottom. And then you copy, right? Right-click copy the highlighted area, go over to products, and right-click, paste special values, and you paste the title. Now, if you've used my spreadsheet systems, I've been making systems for about 5 years. And so you know that I have buttons that map. I have mapping buttons where you click a button and it will take the data from here and copy it over to the product sheet. I will make a version, I'm pretty sure, of this template. I will have a version where you can set up maps as well in case you don't want to, always copy and paste data. But right now, as of today, I'm copying and pasting data. That's how I'm personally. That's how I'm doing it. And what's the next column? Product URL. Okay, these are the product URLs here in the first column. Control-Shift down, right-click, copy, go to products, right-click, paste special values. Okay. Control down arrow so I can see the bottom of the list. Control home to come back to the top. Okay, and this is not necessary, but personally I like to do this, right? Highlight column C, format, wrap in, and clip. The next thing is the prices. Okay, I now need the prices. So the prices, I need to highlight the prices here, right? And again, I really don't like the click and drag, Control-Shift down on the keyboard. I can't show you that, but the only issue is that if you have spaces in here, it will stop. If there's a space, that's the only issue there. I can kind of show you a trick also, which is that you can click on the letter of the column and that will highlight the entire column. Then right click and copy. Then go to products. Right? I've copied the entire column and then I'm going to right click, paste special. And really I don't need paste special. Just right click paste. I don't know why I've been using that. Right click paste. Okay. You need paste special values when you have color and formats that you don't want to copy. I'm just copying text, so I didn't actually need it. And you just paste the entire thing. Yes, I realize it has this in it. You can just use right click, delete cells, and shift up, right? So seeing that I have to do all those different little things to get the data on here, I know for sure now that I'm going to add mapping scripts to this and provide another template. So you'll still have this original Google Sheet template, but I'll also make a template where you can map. Where you can press a button, and if you know my systems, you know what I'm talking about. All right. Because this is kind of a lot. I mean, it's a bit much to go through, I think. But you only have to do it once per process, so it's not that bad, right? Now for the images, right? I'm going to use again, I'll do Control Shift down, see if I get all the images, or I could use the other method that I just did. But in this case, there are no spaces, so Control Shift down is fine. Right click copy, come over to products, right? Make sure you're up at the top row here, row 2, right click paste. Okay. So now I populated my product titles, my product URL, my prices, and my product image URL. And yes, they have to be in this order because the browser automation, it expects things to be in a certain place. It's already pre-programmed to this arrangement, to this template. So you have to, you have to do that. Now I'm going to select these 3, the product ID numbers, and you can just drag this down and you'll see it will autofill. And you can actually place the mouse here, double click, and that will automatically autofill. And if you go down to the bottom, you can see the last ID is 240. So that's the point, that I know there's 240 products, and each product kind of has like a number. So I know product number 1, product number 2, so on and so forth. Okay. The next thing is that these is to feed these products to the automation. So now, assuming you already have this installed, right? Now I'm going to run the automation and click on the play button for that workflow. These Chrome extensions, this type of Chrome extension, first of all, it's not available on the market. You can't like download it online. So you download it from me and you get like an actual file that you have to add into your browser. And I show you how to do that. And you have to come back. Sometimes for some reason it won't play the first time, then I have to play the second time. Okay, so that's just, I guess, the engine that runs this. It's a little shaky, but it's a free engine. And so okay, so now the next thing is spreadsheet URL, all these different things that have to be filled in. But let's start with the spreadsheet URL, right? Really, it's the spreadsheet ID that you need, but it extracts the ID for you. So now you need the URL up here. But let me actually show you what you need to do. Go to Share, and you need to use anyone with the link editor. The reason is that the automation does not have access to your Google account. Yes, it's in the same browser, but it doesn't have access to this file. So you have to create a link editor where anyone, including the automation, it can just edit it once they have the link. Copy that link, right? And bring that link back. And I know, okay, so you can't see my taskbar. I just realized that because of the way I adjusted the screen for this video. Let me see if I can pull this down. I want to make sure you actually know what I'm doing here. Well, it looks like it's gone. Okay. Yeah, so hopefully now you can see my taskbar. So this is where the automation is, down here at the bottom. And I can just paste that link that I just copied. And just to understand what this is, this start row, I probably should have said like input start row, but it means start searching products at that row. I just need to quickly, just briefly explain. We're talking about this row, row 2 on your input for products. And then we're talking about row 2 on the output on the results sheet as well. So products and results, okay? So start searching products at this row, print the results to the result sheet, that row. Maximum number of results it will copy on each image search, meaning every time it searches a product, what is the maximum results you will allow it to record from that search? Default is 10. It really could be higher because I've seen Google Lens give like a very large number of results. I'm going to use like 25, but it's a max. So if it doesn't have 25, it won't give you 25. So it's okay. But but I'm going to use, in fact, I think, yeah, in fact, I'm going to use like a very high number. All right, just to cover my bases. So I'll just use like 50 or something. For the output interval, this is how often, after this number of products, it will then do output. This is with the API, Google Sheets API. So I'm going to set it to 3 because I want you to see the results quickly in this video. So I'm going to set the output to 3, but typically just leave it at 10. But you know, you can, or I mean, it just really depends what you're trying on, what you want. Okay, in fact, I'll do 5. Nah, I'll leave it at 3. Okay, then the max output row, this is the lowest row over here. Like on the results, this is like the lowest it will go. It will output, which I have it set up to 10,000. Okay. By default, you can change it. Export CSV means every time it finds product results, it will export to a CSV. It will still output here to the Google Sheet, but it will also output a CSV, which can kind of work as like a backup. So you can do that too, and it will keep exporting a new CSV with everything it found so far. You can just delete the files if you don't want them afterwards. So I'll go ahead and do that also. And that's it. I'm all set. And now I will click on Run. And the workflow will begin to run. You'll see Running Workflow. And up here in the browser, it will run separately on its own tab. And the tab does not have to be open. As long as this browser is open, it will keep running. You just have to keep this browser open. Okay, this browser. So now you can continue working while it's doing that. And that's one thing I really like about this particular automation. Some automations I made in the past that are still out there, they require the automation to run for it to be on the tab. And it really just depends on the automation. But you know, but this one I made sure to do it in a way that it runs separately on its own tab. However, you can click on it and see what it's doing, right? And you can see what it's doing is searching these images using Google Lens. It's passing the image URLs into Google Lens. It's navigating over to the exact matches section, and then it's recording these results. Now you'll notice some of these don't have prices, unfortunately, but some do. But if they've got prices, then prices will be recorded, right? The automation can't help it if Google Lens doesn't have prices for some things. But for those that do have prices, the prices will be recorded as well. And with prices, that means that you'll be able to have profit. Now, if there's no matches, there are just no matches, right? So the idea is not that every single product gets results and every single source has a price. That's not the idea here. The idea is that you are able to collect such a large number of product sources and able to search such a large number of products and collect prices such that the probability, because you're just collecting so many of them, is that you have a good chance of finding some profitable relationships between sources and whatever you scraped, okay, the products that you originally scraped. So you can see already it's begun to populate into the spreadsheet. This is your original image, by the way, not the source image, the original image that you got from eBay, in this case, eBay. This is your own product data that you inputted. But right here where it starts result URL and result price, I should have really, come to think of it, I could have made these perhaps even a different color just to make it a little more clear that these results are coming from the Google Lens search, okay? As you can see, because they didn't have prices, they had like these, I guess, like pixel sizes instead. So unfortunately, you won't have prices on those. And, you know, it's too bad they don't have prices there. And maybe I'll see in the future if maybe there's another page or something that needs to be used to increase price results. But, you know, here's another one that does have a price result. And it's also Walmart. So There might be a reason why these are here. Okay, and it might, so, but anyway, the point here is that you will look for profits. So you input a market fee percentage. In this case, I'm using 15%. I'm assuming a market fee, that means an eBay fee in this case of 15%, that they're going to charge me 15%, and that I'm going to pay a 40 cents transaction on top of that or whatever. The payout, so really it's like an approximate profit calculation. And then this is what I would be paid out, and then this would be my profit based on the cost of the product. But first of all, I kind of skipped the cost part. And, first of all, it pulls in the result, the price of the product result. And so, assuming you have 1 unit, and again, you can change these, okay? The parts, the sections that are in white, you can simply change them, okay? 1 unit means you've got 1 product unit that you are purchasing. The price is $6.03. Assuming a 0 shipping here, shipping of $0, you could always, again, if it needs to be changed, but assuming a tax charge of 10%, this is the cost that is calculated for each unit. This is the number of units that, again, this is just by default. It's normally going to be 1 unit that you're selling. So it's costing you $6.63 to buy this 1 unit, right? You're being charged these fees. And the selling price is based on the product price that from eBay. But I think one thing I might change is to have a flexible, although, you could change, you could change the product price here, but just coming to think of it, I could put like another selling price over here. But so basically the selling price that you're selling it for is over here. Okay, that's kind of the point. All right, but hopefully everything I said wasn't too confusing. I might have done it a little out of order. Sorry, I kind of went backwards on that. Usually I would start with the cost and then go into the profit. But at the end of the day, it's clear that this is the profit, calculated estimated profit. Okay, and that when it's positive, that's a good thing. And if it's red, if it's, negative, then, it's not a profit like this, right? So, of course, you're going to gravitate towards results that are green and then check them out and see if, and what I'll do is kind of zoom out because it's a little, okay, hard to see everything. So what I'll do is open the product URL. I just get to that. And the great thing is while I'm doing this, it's still continuing, right, to run over there, all right? So, and by the way, you can just check. Oh, whoops, it looks like it shut down. Okay, and that can happen. I'll just restart it from where it left off. But let's just take a look at the results for now that we have so far. So that's eBay over here. And then let's take a look at the eBay, not the image. I have the image. Walmart, and let's just see. Let's see if this is in fact some kind of profitable match or not. So here we had a portable handheld misting fan rechargeable. Let's see the original listing, which was $30.44. 11, they had sold 11. I know this is they're using AutoDS because of the Denver, Colorado. AutoDS has that thing where it sets Walmart's address location to Denver, Colorado. So I know they're using AutoDS. Okay. And let's see if this is where they drop shipped it from. Right? Looks like it, right? Same 3 different colors and everything. So 559 clearance right now. Shipping arrives August 21st. Shipping $396. Okay, this is not, I don't have Walmart Plus on this Walmart account that I'm on right now. This is not where I actually purchase stuff. So, but maybe with Walmart Plus. Well, first of all, who's selling this? No, it's sold direct by a merchant here. Okay. So maybe it really does have a shipping charge then of $396. So as I was saying, you can change stuff. So you would go in here now. I'll zoom back in a bit to the shipping, and you would simply change the shipping here, right? In this case, to $396, and even with that change, it's still reporting it to be a profit of $15, 142.49%, right? Because after all, the price was $30.44. Now, one thing with eBay is we talk about, of course, the sales history. I have a spreadsheet that you drop in the original eBay item, and it will give you the sales history page. I don't have that open right now, but normally, I would have that, and then we can go in and look at the sales history, right? I mean, if I could remember off the top of my head how to do that, but I can't remember right now. So, you'll be able to see the sales history. For now, for this video, for this moment, let's just assume that this is the price it sold at, okay? Just right now for this video, but I realize, we want to look at sales history, but let's just assume. Let's assume it really did sell for $30.44, and, then that would definitely be the profit, okay? $14.97. And I mean, my thing is they're the same product. You see it's listed much higher. It's on eBay, and you also see it on Walmart. We know that people drop ship from Walmart to eBay or Arbitrage as well. So it just makes sense that, they sold it at a profit. Why would somebody be trying to sell it not at a profit? It doesn't make sense, right? So the fact that it sold and 11 sold, we know they drop shipped it from Walmart or sold it, or however they did it. They wanted to make a profit, clearly, right? We see it's only $5.59 here. We see they have it at $30 here. Clearly, they sold it for $30, right? And they sold it 11 times. Clearly, they sold it at a profit, unless they just had no idea what they were doing, right? And I don't think that's the case. At least most of the time, that won't be the case, right? So, safe to say they drop shipped this at a profit, coming off of Walmart, $5.59 versus $30. Right? Is there another supplier? I mean, that's a possibility as well. Right? This is product ID number 1, meaning all of these, see all of these, how they have the product ID 1? It means that these are all the same product on eBay, but just different sources that Google Lens picked up. And again, some of these, as far as a profit report, some of these are useless because they have these what looks like resolutions or whatever instead of having prices. But the ones that do have prices are useful, and as you can see, you can immediately find a profitable product. And that was my whole point. Doesn't matter if we're picking up 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 or 100 things that are useless in terms of the data, as long as we, in between those, we have a bunch of things that are popping up with profit, right? It doesn't matter as long as we're getting profitable results popping up, okay? And it has a long way to go to finish searching, right? Now, you did see that for some reason it stopped, okay? And so I suppose I'll have to show you how to get it restarted. So, but before doing that, I do want to point out up here you can apply a filter. Data. Okay, first of all, find the number 1 and click on it. This is Google Sheets stuff, right? This is Google Sheets education. Not specific to my template, my creations. General Google Sheets stuff, you click on that row number 1. You click on data. You click on create a filter. And then that's it. And then you have the filter. You navigate over here to profit. You click that down arrow. You filter by color. You go to fill color. And well, this only works because I already formatted the profitable ones green. So you can do filter by color, fill color green, right? And the profitable products will, only the ones that are reporting a potential profit will show up. Okay, and so far, looking at it, those are product ID number 1. And I think we have one other product here at the bottom, product ID number 2, that we can take a look at as well. Let's take a look at that just for fun. That's a portable handheld turbo fan. See the original listing, $29.34. Pretty good. All right, fairly high price, I think. And it looks like this source is amazon.co.uk, not even amazon.com. It's UK. And still want to look at it, but it's 24.4. Okay, it's UK. I mean, this kind of doesn't make sense for me personally, but that's what it's showing, right? And so for whatever reason, it's pulling up the UK. But anyway, it's probably not done with finding sources in it. Maybe we'll pull up something in the US, something else for that product. But that's it. I mean, it's a long process because it has to go through and continue. And I'm just going to remove the filter completely right now. Okay, it has to just go through and keep searching the other products on Google Lens. And so that's the last thing that I'll do here in this video is show you how to restart it. So for whatever reason, it did quit. Okay, and I'll just restart it. Okay, and I'll go back one more time and restart that again. Okay, there it goes. And yes, I will have to put the URL again. I think you can just put the one up. Yeah, you could probably just put the file top, but I just like to copy this link back in there. Now, the difference when you restart it is you cannot start again at row 2 because you already did row 2. So you've got to like get to the bottom. You could scroll down, or you could do like control down on the keyboard to get to the bottom. You left off at, I'm going to zoom in so we can see this better, row 114. So you need to go to row 114. So coming back here, start row. I'm not gonna do this and wait for it to get to 114. It's, it takes too long. So I'm going to type 114. And for output row, which is the result sheet. Oh, I just realized. Sorry, I did that wrong. Let's go back. Okay, put that out of your mind. The start row for the input for the if you read this, it tells you start searching products at this row of the product sheet. On the product sheet, you already finished 1, but I don't know about 2. I only see 1 thing. I think 1 is done. So we're going to start from 3, okay? So actually, you could have just done this, 1, 2, 3. But for the output, okay, the output row, the results, it's row 114. We have to print it out to row 114. So I'll go back here, output row 114. And again, the maximum results is whatever, I'm just putting a big number, 50, whatever max you want to put. It usually won't find 50. Output interval, I'm going to keep it large this time because I'm not going to actually be watching it and waiting for it. I'm just going to let it run on its own, and I'll let it output interval 10. Same max output. Perhaps I'll still have it export as CSV. And then I'll just run it again, and it will run. Okay. And that's it. So it'll run now, and it will collect more results. I'm not going to, sit here and wait for it to run and pull more results, right? Because then that would, be a very long video, or I'd have to pause and come back, which I could do. But perhaps what I will do, however, I will have other videos where I will share results that I found using the Google Lens Sourcer, as I just did, sharing that first profitable result that it found. And I will even provide lists, like kind of, I'd say unverified, meaning I'm not going through one by one and making sure that these are really profitable, but they're just matches, profitable matches that it found. I could possibly give you hundreds of them, and you can just go through them, right, and look at them, right? I can provide those as a list. So I can do that. And also then, now, if you want to actually do this yourself, like if you actually want to source products this way, you want to actually do this process, then you can actually download the system from me. Okay, there's a page that you'll visit, and you can go and download. You'll get the Google Sheet template that we're looking at right now, and you'll get the Chrome extension file And there's a video that shows you how to manually install that Chrome extension to your browser. It takes less than a minute to do. Okay, you create a copy of the Google Sheet onto your own Google Drive, and then you're ready to go. And you just come back, you revisit the tutorial, either this one or I might even prepare some other kind of set of tutorial videos for this. But this video, I mean, it's complete, but it's a little bit off the top of my head, so maybe I'll do one that's more organized. And that's about it. I mean, you just do the process. Look, the thing here is that, I mean, this is not as fast as sourcing software, right? It's not just going to, like, say, just scan a page and then just give you, like, scan 240 products on eBay and just give you a whole bunch of results. But here's the thing. I mean, the sourcing software that does that still, first for one, it can only do it with certain suppliers, right? This will source really any link that Google Lens that comes up on Google and has a price, you could potentially source. So it could potentially just source. Look, we've got Temu here right now, a Temu product that was sourced, right? Like, it can really just, like, source any random kind of site that comes up on the Google results. You can't do that with sourcing software, right? They've got a set list of suppliers, and that's all it can do. So you've got to consider that. You're going to be able to find way more obscure deals that you probably just won't find any other way, right? And that's not just for dropshipping. That could be for arbitrage also. So that's a huge advantage, right? So it's slower in terms of, like, having to go through one by one, running the browser. But, I mean, you can keep working, and at the end of it, you will have there will be some profitable products found here. Okay, especially if you just kind of do a random search on eBay and you apply the filters for dropshipping, or even arbitrage. You can find arbitrage products this way, right? You're gonna find products. It's going to find matches, and it's going to find profitable products. The reason is that there are people dropshipping products profitably, as we saw with this product on eBay, and they are sourcing the products from these other sites, and they are on Google. And Google Lens will find them because Google Lens is great at matching product images. They cannot hide, right? So no matter how much they want it, they change, right? Sellers can change the titles and as much as they want, try to disguise it. They get rid of the brand, right? We know all the tricks, all the sellers, to try to hide the product, right? So people don't source it as easily. But if you're using the original images, that's it, right? Even if you modify images, right? Google Lens, the AI is so good now, right? I've tested where it could tell that products were even the same product that were taken at different angles. Like it's very good. Okay. The technology is very good at matching these images. So you can't hide these profitable products from Google Lens Sourcer. You can't really hide them, right? From the Google Lens Sourcer. So that's basically it. You're going to find profitable products when you run the system, period. Right, you've just got to feed it a lot of products and then let the thing run. Just let the automation run. That's really it, as you saw in this video, and it will find products. So that's about it. If you want to use the system again, just go to the description of this video. I don't have to say much more about that. Just find a link and take it from there. I'm Mr. Mark. If you don't already know me, I've released a lot of spreadsheet systems out there for sellers and for other things as well. But mostly for sellers because e-commerce was the main business that I conducted, starting back in 2019 to 2020. So basically, this is the latest system I've put together, which I think actually is the best one. Although the other ones are like a little bit more complex and they can do certain things like scrape directly from eBay, things like that. I think I get the best results here due to the fact that it can pull the prices of the sources without software, and the fact that it is using images instead of using titles. You just get better matches here, and you get profitable, reports, and you get prices without having to go pay for an additional software. That's something that my previous systems just can't. They don't do. So I think this is by far the best thing. And it's really giving you results similar to sourcing software that it's going to cost you maybe $100 a month or $50 or I don't know, whatever they cost, right? Depending on the software, right? Or maybe even $30 a month. But you know, so, I mean, you know, that's basically it. So anyway, Mr. Mark, like, subscribe to the channel or whatever you want to do. Check the description of the video, and I'll see you around in another one.